Right, Reggae Ellis here in Hakuba with Michaela Davis Meehan, fresh off her second place at the Freeride World Tour, first stop of the year last weekend. Michaela, thanks for joining us and congratulations.
Oh, thanks for having me, Reggae. Yeah, I'm super stoked on my second place.
Well, you should, this is your rookie year on tour, and it's a pretty good way to start.
Oh, definitely. It's just made me feel confident for the rest of the season, and yeah, second place podium. You need to be top 4 to make it through to the Verbier final, so it's a good place to start.
It is a good place to start. Now with that, what were your nerves like going into that gate?
Oh, I think this is actually the most nervous I've been for an event. Yeah, I was so nervous just dropping in, big debut on the World Tour. So yeah, nervous.
Yeah, I saw some good features. So dropping into that, you got second to world champ Marion Harty. How'd you feel when they announced the results?
Oh, I couldn't believe it actually. I wasn't super happy with my run. I think those nerves just kicked in, and the first comp of the year, and I kind of wussed out on some of my drops. So I definitely want to go a bit harder and bigger next time. But yeah, it's really cool to get it done and get second.
Yeah. Well, your background, of course, you grew up in Newcastle. You started skiing at Perisher when you were really little, switched to snowboarding, and then you're on doing the slopestyle for quite a while.
Yeah, so I started doing slopestyle, started with Winter Sports Club in Perisher, just like school holidays and things like that. And yes, slopestyle for many years, and it wasn't until about 4 years ago I had a crack at freeriding, and I just fell in love and switched from slopestyle to freeride.
Yeah, so in a couple of years on the qualifying tour, which you won last year, and you got to win the qualifying tour to get on the main stage. That's pretty gnarly.
Yeah, that's right. There's about 100 riders in every event, male and female, so it's a big field. You just got to go, and you can get so close but so far every year. I actually had the year before last a knee injury and got a knee reconstruction. So I took a whole year off for that because I didn't want to risk re-injuring myself. And I just came back and something changed, and I think the time off was good, and I just had a massive comeback and started winning everything. Yeah. So yeah, it's a good way to do it.
That's the way to do it. You need to win everything. Now, you talked about the knee injury. Of course, when you were 18, you had a really bad injury breaking your back in a slopestyle event.
Yeah, so I had compressed fracture and had it all fused back together over in Mammoth in California. That was a massive injury, biggest one I've still had to this day. So that was 8 years ago, so it was a good 8-year gap between injuries, which I think is, I've got another 8 years in me. Had another whole year off there, and I actually went and did some study, got a job. I wasn't going to go back and do competing again, but about 9 months after doing that for a while, I was like, what am I doing? This sucks. Yeah. So I stopped doing that and came back to snowboarding, and the following year after that, made the Shadow Olympic team for slopestyle. So yeah, it's great.
Yeah. And with that, of course, we were just talking off camera, Tess Cody, of course, you used to train with. She just won a World Cup. Do you often ever think about going back to slopestyle, or is it all just freeride now?
Yeah, I think I'm just on the freeride train. It looks fun, but I don't know, being at the top of a freeride course, I just love it much more at the moment than the slope cast. I had a good time doing that, but yeah, I've moved on.
Well, it seems to be a fairly standard thing. A lot of riders, both snowboarders and skiers, do slope style, and then I was going to say when they grow up, they go on the big mountain, but it sort of is a natural progression maybe in some ways.
Yeah, I always joke that I've retired to freeriding, even though it's not any less hectic at all, but yeah, it just seems to be the process that everyone does. I don't know why, but I'm loving it.
Yeah. Well, with that, you've travelled the world, spent a lot of time in Europe. You went to Iran. How was Iran? That was pretty radical. Like you and Amber Razni. How'd that come about?
Mona Siraji was our Iranian friend. Amber actually met Mona at a freeride event in the Verbier Freeride Week.
Right.
And she just messaged her one day when we were in Europe, travelling together, and said, "Do you want to come to Iran?" I didn't even know there was snow there, to be honest. We're like, all right, we booked some flights and flew over. And it was awesome, best snow. Everyone, it's probably one of the nicest places I've been, people-wise. Yeah. They're just super friendly, nothing that you would expect over there. And we're the only Westerners there, which is cool.
Well, I suppose Iran gets a pretty bad rap, whatever the government is. But everything I've heard about is good people. And how was the riding?
Yeah, awesome. They've got massive mountains. We got some powder as well. All the chairlifts are a bit old and rickety, but everything works. We got up there. I would definitely go back. I would love to.
And with that, okay, now you're on the tour. Next event is Kicking Horse. How are you going to that one, how are you feeling after your result here?
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. I would like to go get some more big mountain riding in and hit some drops so that I don't come into the next one feeling nervous. I'm thinking of maybe going a Revelstoke and spending a bit of my winnings on going heliboarding for the first time.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, with that, I suppose here in resort, or most resorts in Japan, there's not a lot of cliff drops and stuff, so it's pretty hard to get going. What was it like out there? Like, the features look pretty good from where I was watching.
Yeah, there's some nice drops are out there when you find them. It's just a shame that the snow wasn't super soft to come landing off them. Yeah. Maybe it would have got a bit bigger.
Yeah. And looking ahead, you've got Kicking Horse, End of Europe. How do you finance? It's not a cheap way to make a living.
No, I just pour some beers back home in Australia. Just bar jobs. I work and save up. I've got a bit of help from sponsors this year. Making the World Tour helped that out a bit. Just working and save up so I can have 3 months off and travel the world. Yeah.
And on the tour, you said your prize money. What is the prize money?
It's equal pay this year, which is awesome. So it should be bumped up a bit from what I heard it was from last year. Yeah, well, it will be. I mean, surfing did that two years ago, so it's good to see the Freeride Tour. And it should be, because you're hitting the same features, the same terrain. Yeah. I mean, we're all doing the same thing, so it's just really good to see that they've stepped it up.
Yeah. Okay. So, we're looking ahead. Where you aiming at? What's the end? Are you going to hold that World Championship up? We haven't had an Australian World Champion for ages.
I know. Well, the saying is, in it to win it. Yeah. I'm not there for second place, so I'll give it a good crack. But main goal is also just be top 4, so I can continue on the tour next year.
Yeah. And with that, so top 4, you go to Verbier, which is in early March. Was it Bector Ross's?
Bector Ross.
That looks pretty gnarly.
Yeah, I hit it for the first time ever last year, but it was terrible snow at the time and it was so scary. It's super steep, and if you fall, you're gone until you get to reach the bottom. So.
Well, with that, I met your mum and dad. They were nervously watching you the other day. You talk about the injuries you had, and big mountain riding is gnarly. It's not like a manicured slopestyle park, so there's things can go wrong. How do your parents feel about it?
Oh, they love it. They're my biggest fans.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm sure they get nervous for me, but they just get stoked on it. And just love to come watch and just hope I do my best I can. They're super proud.
As they should be. Now, of course, with this, professional athlete now, full time, are you doing the off-mountain training required?
I am. I've really stepped up my off-snow training this year. I had a personal trainer 3 times a week doing some extra special training, strongman training. So it's a lot of, the car pushing, flipping tyres, jackhammers, all that kind of good stuff. But lots of balance. I also did a bit of Muay Thai just to keep things interesting, and just surfing and staying fit. But I was working pretty hard this year. So.
Well, with that, you're working in the off-season, training and working behind the bar. What about Australia? Did you ride much in Perisher last year? Or?
I didn't get a huge chance to go this year. I only did about maybe a month riding in our winter. Just because I've got to work and save up and make this trip happen. So it's a bit hard.
And now another thing I've got to ask you about. I saw it on your Instagram. The boxing. What's the go there?
Yes, I did. Well, I get really bored in the gym, so I got to kind of keep it interesting with how I keep fit. Yeah. So I love things with competitions, obviously. So I had to go at the 10-week boxing challenge, and you train for 10 weeks, and then at the end of it, you have a proper fight. Yeah. So that was awesome. Oh, so much adrenaline. I'd do it again, and I won by TKO.
Oh, technical knockout.
Yes.
So how was it? Did she land any on you?
Oh, I should got a couple, not many.
Did it hurt?
No, well, we got the headgear and mouth guards.
Yeah.
But so much adrenaline rush. They put us on right before the pros, so there's about 1,500 people there.
Oh, wow.
You get the smoke, you got your walkout song, and in the red corner,
Michaela Davis Meehan.
That's it. Yeah, it was awesome. I'd do that again.
Yeah,
sure.
I can understand that. And looking ahead, first year on the tour, what do you think the longevity of the sport is? Because, I've noticed a lot of the athletes, they keep going well into their late 30s. Is that your plan?
Yeah, I mean, keep the dream alive as long as I can, I guess. Just who knows what will happen. Just while I'm loving it, I'll continue to keep doing it. But there's some riders in their 40s who are on the World Tour, so, why not?
Yeah, why not? It's better than getting a real job. Yeah. And from Australia, people go, wow, an Australian on the World Tour, Do you think it's something other young Aussies could aspire to?
Oh, for sure. I really hope that people can see me coming and doing this, as there's not been many before me, and I don't think people even much knew about it. But freeriding's becoming a bigger thing in Australia this last couple of years, so I hope some people get out there and try some two-star events and see how they go.
How have you found Hakuba? You had a good time?
Oh, I always have a good time when I come over here, even if the snow's not great. But I did get a few powder days in, so a few Japow in there. So that was great, yeah.
Yeah, I saw you out in the Daiki trees the other day.
Yeah, that's always fun. I love it down there.
All right, Michaela, well, thanks for joining us here on Mountainwatch, and all the best for the rest of the year, and have a great time.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Stoked. Thank you.